You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Hear me clearly. America is not a racist country.
We need to address, well, first of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country.
The Tennessee cop fired over her numerous sexual romps with other officers claims in a new federal lawsuit that superiors in her department actually groomed her for the risque escapades. Megan Hall, 26, who blamed a troubled marriage for her randy affairs, claims she felt trapped and exploited in the midst of the all-male ranks of the La Vergne Police Department, according to her 51-page federal complaint filed Monday. Where Ms. Hall sought role models at her new job, she instead found Preds. The lawsuit says, in place of offering professional development, her supervisors and the chief of police groomed her for exploitation. They colluded in using their authority to systematically disarm her resistance and entrap her in degrading and equal relationships, even sharing tips on the best ways to manipulate and exploit her. The suit claims Hall, who had a history of mental illness, felt trapped, and in an attempt to escape, Hall was fired in January after word of the steamy escapades with 5 other cops became public, with those officers also terminated from the department. In an interview during an internal investigation, the young cop admitted she performed sexual acts on duty and on police property and had a threesome with one cop and his wife. Hall told the investigator she got stupid and got desperate in the midst of a divorce. In her federal lawsuit, Hall, who was 24 when she first applied for a job on the force in 2020, claims she first became sexually involved with Sergeant Lewis Powell early last year. Sergeant Powell learned that Ms. Hall was going through the process of buying a home with her husband and that this process was extremely taxing on their relationship. Sergeant Powell positioned himself as a reliable source of companionship and advice regarding Ms. Hall's career in her marriage. Sergeant Powell persisted in requests for despite Ms. Hall's resistance, it said. Eventually, Ms. Hall gave in to Sergeant Powell's request for sexual favors. She said when she tried to break off the affair, Powell threatened to kill himself. Hall said the exploitative sexual relationship with Powell led to other sexual encounters involving other La Vergne cops, Larry Holliday, Patrick Magliacco, Ty McGowan, Juan Lugo Perez, Gavin Scoborough, and Detective Seneca Shields. Powell, Lugo Perez, McGowan, and Shields were fired over the capades. The other cops kept their jobs but were suspended. Earlier this month, La Vergne Police Chief Borough Chip Davis was also fired. Hall claims the chief encouraged this behavior and shared in the groan and sexual fantasy of mutually abusing Ms. Hall with his trusted supervisor, Ty McGowan. She said Davis once asked her to come into his office to dance for him, tried to get her to agree to lunch dates, and described her clothing as hot girl summer. The lawsuit, filed in U.S. District Court in the Middle District of Tennessee, names the city of La Vergne, Powell, McGowan, and Davis as defendants. It seeks an unspecified amount in damages for lost wages, medical expenses, mental suffering, emotional distress, and reputational harm.
Let me just say it like this first. I've covered a variety of stories like this over my years, and I've seen countless times where women will decide to take it upon themselves to act in a certain type of way, and then once they get caught and all their business is out there, then they want to turn around and play victim. This is, in a sense, what you are currently seeing at this moment in time. But to be more specific directly about this story, this is an example of a white woman getting caught and now crying tears because before she was for the team. You know, it ain't no fun if the homies can't get none. That is pretty much what it was, or AKA OPP, right? You can look up the definition for yourself. Either which one you want to pick, it is what it is. And she decided that this is what she wanted to do. Her husband basically saw the things that she was doing. She was not permitted to do a lot of the things that she was doing. She was more than likely doing it outside of the scope of the agreement that they had specifically in their marriage. And somebody decided to send a tip, you know, to the proper authorities. And she pretty much cleared out the whole team, the same team that she was playing for, the same team that she was batting for, the same team that she was writing for, the same team that she was washing the balls for. And, you know, she got everybody cleaned directly out, and then wanted to play the blame game and say like, oh, it was the Chiefs' fault, it was this, it was that. They orchestrated the whole thing Oh, woe was me. I'm a victim. My marriage was in a bad place. I was in a bad place. I didn't know what to do. I got caught up in a situation. All of this is literally her making herself the victim and making everybody else the perpetrator, i.e., women good, men bad. It's ridiculous. This is the craziest defense that I've ever seen in my life, and it's working. You know how it's working? Because the majority of the guys are black. This is a white woman, even though she is not how to put this without having any type of trouble with YouTube. Even though she's a bit of a butterface, which it is what it is. It's working out for her. She'll more than likely not have a job. She's not going to get hired by anybody else unless they're trying to get down as well. She still has her husband at the end of the day. She'll still have her pension. Can't say the same for all of the black men involved. Can't say that. And the chief even got fired, and he was let go, and he, to my knowledge, was not specifically doing anything physical directly with her. But hey, it's another black man. He's on a chopping block. You're in proximity to a white woman. It is what it is. It is casualties all over the place. Body on body on body on body on body. Um, like I said, it's very much baffling to me. And it does get to a point in time where you have guys out here where they'll just accept physical interaction just from anybody. And I mean anybody. She is anybody. And I would just, for a brief second in time, I would just like for men in general to have better standards. I would just like men in general to be more picky. If there was a time and place to lose your job and it was over something that was consensual, at least make sure that the woman is attractive. Just for once. Just for once, for any of the guys out there. If you're going to literally just screw the pooch, if you're gonna throw away the whole house, the kitchen sink, and the baby, if you're gonna decide to lose your job over something, at least make sure that the woman is attractive. That's all I'm saying. Have better standards. Have better standards. If you can have standards for tech, if you can have standards for cars, if you can have standards for, sometimes your clothes or shoes, please, please, dear God, have standards for the women. Have standards. It needs to get to a point in time that men start having standards when it is that they just like want to sleep with women. Just have standards. Women got these standards all the time. Literally, women have these standards all the time. But for whatever reason, guys are like, nah, 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 nah. That's all right, no standards. Anybody will do. I'm like, nah, son. Nah, nah. Because when you go back through memories, you want to see, beautiful, pretty women, faces, things of that nature, right? Something that you can, in a sense, brag over. I lose hope sometimes when I hear stories like this. I lose hope because it's like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is straight clownery. They should have just lost it. You know what? I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there. Not gonna go there. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. The craziest part is you still have the husband who is more than likely the one that left the tip, and he stated that he's going to stand by his wife. You have no choice. You have no choice. You don't have other options. She is your only option. She is at this moment in time the best that you can do. Just like Gillette, the best a man can get. That's what that is. She's Gillette. She's the best. That's it. That is it. You're gonna be just like the father on American Dad and Family Guy. You're gonna be somewhere in the closet watching your wife get knocked down. That's what it is. But if you're gonna do it, at least do it on OnlyFans so that y'all can make money. Because obviously she's the only one that's actually making money. Because I don't know what you're doing. Because obviously you ain't doing enough. Because she done lost her job. That's done. Hopefully you must have something, directly in, cybernetics, computers, programming, something. Because I'm figuring that she was technically making the most, possibly, potentially. I'm just guessing. I don't know. It's, like I said, this whole story is just it's ridiculous. It is 1,000. Any court system that is willing to go through with this story and side with her, there is no hope for humanity. And Godspeed, Spider-Man. Like there is nothing. There is nothing else out here. Like I said, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. I really am. She really played this victim. I cannot believe this. I can believe it, but I can't believe this. Oh my God, I'm looking at a bunch of fools. Oh my God. Well, some people ain't gonna make it. So for the other guys out there, don't let this be you. Again, I'm gonna repeat, regardless of what I said earlier, please don't let this be you. Do not sit up there and like realistically lose, a job that you've been working decades for over a woman. It ain't even worth it because she's gonna win both ways at the end of the day. Even if she has an L, she's still going to sit up there and win. You're not. So, like I said, for the men out there, let me be more specific. For the black guys out there, just let this story be an example. Let what you see here be a clear-cut example of what not to do. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Please don't be stupid. Because I promise you, let me catch you being stupid. You probably, it's going to be a story directly up here. Please don't do it. Please don't do it. Like I said, too many L's have been getting passed around, on passed around, on passed around, on passed around. People are high on L's right now. Can't even build a house. This is ridiculous. This is just ridiculous.